this on the vlog in forever, so I'm sure you might not know, but I run an online vintage shop and I do still list things. I do still sell things. I actually packaged an order this morning and shipped off 4 orders yesterday, but I don't talk about it enough. I wanted to share with you some of the items that I just took pictures of that I'm going to list. By the time this goes up, they should definitely be listed. I have this vintage pot. It's got a drainage hole. It's so cute. I'm listing some pewter. I'm obsessed with this one. It's a little kitchen soap dish with a rooster on it. This little tray comes off. You put soap or a sponge on here for your counter. This is what the bottom looks like. This little floral hummingbird glass cube. It's so hard to show you on camera, but there is a little hummingbird in the center. There we go. Beautiful. I love that. I have 3 of these little fondue bowls for the book girlies out there. I want to put these on my bookshelves so badly, but I have this little cottage. Adorable. We've got this beautiful clutch, and then I also have this Italian bag, this brand, this little coin clutch. My God, like look at the floral detail on this handle. That gold floral. This is so cool. This is the, I want to say Monet, but it's this brand. I don't know if I mentioned that yet either. I think I'm gonna list the bags on my Depop as well, and we'll just see what platform it does better on, because you really never know. I'm always surprised to like what sells on Depop versus Poshmark versus Etsy. I have this 3-leaf clover tray, and then I love these next 2. This little Corningware dish, like look at her. She's so cute. This is Corning. One of the cutest teapots I have ever found with little pink florals. What makes this one so special is the way that the top locks, so you can pour it without the lid coming off, and then it even has those sticks in here, so you would put the sticks in right there, and then you twist it, and then you twist it again, and she is not coming off. Like that lid is staying. If you saw something you absolutely loved, definitely go check it out. I have so many other items listed as well, so maybe you'll find a treasure or two. It's called Moonlit Vintage Treasures. Duh, should have mentioned that. I'll link my Instagram for it down below, as well as the shop. And for watching this, I'll throw in a little discount code too. Oh my God! Not this being open. I hope everything's okay. I finally upgraded my Nespresso machine. Now hear me out. I love my Nespresso machine, but she is old. She's probably close to 10 years old. And it was just time. Since my normal Nespresso machine works just fine still, I can still sell her on like Facebook Marketplace and make a little bit of money. So even a bigger discount. Shut up. Let's go set her up. See, I never bought my other Nespresso machine straight from the source. So I never got like this welcome package. This is amazing. It's like a little egg carton. God, why didn't I do this sooner? And here she is. I loved everything that this machine gave me. You've put in so much hard work. You are so strong. 5 years and counting. Thank you for everything you've done, but it's time for a change. She looks so good! I guess we're starting today's video. I had no plans of filming today, but the Nespresso machine arrived. Things happen. I know I've been needing to, because I need to do kind of like an end of summer at home catch-up vlog of the summer. I want to talk about every single book I read this summer. I think I'm on book number 20 for the summer, and I haven't done a single reading wrap-up all summer because I've just been gone and filming a bunch of other like vlogs and travel diaries, so I do need to do a summer reading wrap-up. I'm trying to squeeze in a couple of summer reads before September, because once my pool closes and I'm no longer able to be in a bikini where it's socially acceptable every single day, I'm not going to want to pick these up. I'm trying to squeeze in a couple of summer reads these last few days of summer. So I've been working on Just for the Summer. This is the summer that I read her series. Part of Your World, yours truly, Just for the Summer. I get the hype. I've talked about this on my socials in short form videos. Hopefully that's out by the time this is out. I can't believe I haven't read her. Like, I am so happy that this is worth the hype, because I was worried, not to compare her, but I'm not the biggest like Allie Hazelwood fan, even though I do read her books, and I don't really care that much for Emily Henry, like, sorry. And I know those are other really big names in the genre, so I automatically assume that her writing might be similar. No, she is so good at her craft. This is so fun, especially as a Minnesotan. It just puts you there in a way that I cannot describe, because every little detail that Abby, as a Minnesotan herself, or at least she's lived here forever, that she adds in, I know. And even when she doesn't mention it and she just says we went to a neighborhood close to, like, in yours truly, like close to his family's house and got so-and-so food, I'm like, oh, I know exactly where that is. Or when she says it was about a 15-minute drive to his parents' place where they live in Edina, I can, like, I know where that is. It's just so fun. Prepare for your TBR list to get even longer. We're doing a reading wrap up for the months of July and August. Combined, I think I read 19. I read 13 in July and 6 books in August. I think there's 9 5-star reads out of all of these as well, so definitely get your TBR lists ready because I'm about to make it even longer. I read so many amazing books this summer and I want to yap about them, so let's chat about my summer reading wrap up basically. I like to do these in chronological order throughout the month, so this is the first book that I read in July and the last one is the last book that I read in August. Summer reading is my favorite reading throughout the entire year, so I'm definitely very sad that it's over. I'm looking forward to spooky season. I've got a whole TBR list of fun fall spooky books to read, but nothing hits the way that summer reading hits. It was a great year though, and I'm so glad that I got so many off my TBR list. So if you're new, please subscribe. I make a ton of book content here, and I also make videos on Book Talk, Bookstagram, Goodreads. All of that is linked down below. I also make book content over on Book Talk, Bookstagram, Goodreads, and all of these and more are listed in my storefront, so everything you need is down below. Comment down below your favorite read of the summer. I'm so curious what it was, and I think I'll share mine at the end, but I need to know so I can add yours to my list. Let me know if you've read any of these and which ones were your favorites. We have to get right on into these though, because there's so many to talk about, and I could yap for a long time about so many of these because there were so many good ones. Starting with the 13 that I read in July. July was definitely the best reading month that I had all year for so many reasons, but the month started off with a 5-star reread of Fun Home by Alison Bechdel. I read this in college, but I'm so glad that I reread this on my own because I got so much out of it this time. It is such a unique way to discuss grief and losing a parent, but having a very complex relationship with that parent as a person and their rights and their wrongdoings, and coming to terms with your own sexuality and growing up and identity. This is a graphic novel, by definition a dark comedy. The author does it so well. Highly recommend if you haven't read this yet, and I hate that I didn't appreciate it more in college because now I actually want to be in class discussing it. At the time, I don't even think I like read it or like cared to read it, which is so upsetting because I paid thousands of dollars to be in that summer class just for me to be like, I hate this book. It's a memoir done in a graphic novel style. It is a story that needs to be told, so pick up Fun Home. Next, I read Lucky by Marissa Stapley. This was my first book by this author, but by far will not be my last. I had such a fun time reading this. It is definitely a wild ride. She's running from the cops. She's wanted as a fugitive, but she wins the lottery. So how can she cash in this lottery ticket? Also, she wants to meet her birth mother. Her name is Lucky because she is the luckiest girl in the world, and luck just happens to find her, but it was really fun. This is also being adapted, I think, by Apple TV, so I'm so excited to watch the series. Anna Taylor-Joy plays Lucky, I believe, so it's gonna be good. Definitely add this to your list to read if you're looking for books that are going to be TV shows and movies soon that you want to read, because I'm excited to watch this. Yeah, I think I read this in like a day and a half. It's a really quick read, so fun. You have to go into it like knowing that it's kind of a silly plot, but just have fun with it. It's like a Lifetime drama movie, and that is a compliment. I try to read a couple of like self-help nonfiction books each month, and for July I was reading a chapter a day every single morning in these next two, just as kind of like a brain break and brain food, I guess. But I read Manifest Anything You Want. I know a lot about manifestation already. I practice it a ton and I firmly believe in it, but this definitely reiterated a lot that I also believe in and really like zoned in and went into detail on a lot of different practices and ways that you can manifest. So if you're looking for more ways to manifest, highly recommend this book. And then I also worked on Sacred Tears. This is a witch's guide to grief, so it has a very spiritual take on it. A lot of books on grief have a heavy focus on God and religion, so if that isn't your vibe but you also are going through grief, maybe look into this one. It is a special book in the sense that I think you have to be in a very specific part of your grieving journey to read this, because there were times where I felt like it was either too late or too soon to read this, and I don't know what that means. Like, it didn't really find me at the perfect time, but I still tried to get some stuff out of this. If you feel like now is the time to read this though, I highly recommend looking into that book. I finally read Animal Farm by George Orwell. I get why they make you read this in school. I never had to read this in high school. We read 1984, and I'm kind of glad that I read this as an adult because it was that much more terrifying. I hate how real this is almost 100 years after it was written. Like, we should not be able to relate this to our society. This is supposed to be fiction. Make George Orwell fiction again, but it's so good. It's described as an adult fairy tale, but it really is like a nightmare, and it's about a farm where the animals rebel and take over. There's so much that you can like really discuss and dig through here, but on the surface level, it reads really quickly. It is easy to read if you are looking to read more classics that are not that intimidating. I read this in an afternoon. I think it's like 97 pages. Quick, easy read, but the metaphors here and like the last sentence gave me such chills. Oh, it was so good. 5 stars. I read The Dinner List by Rebecca Searle. Rebecca Searle is one of my favorite authors. I loved her other books so much that I was so excited to dive into The Dinner List. I really hate to say that I feel like it missed the mark. I didn't get a lot out of this book as I thought I would, and it makes me so sad because I really thought I was going to love The Dinner List. I mean, I ate up One Italian Summer. I loved In 5 Years. Like, it was kind of sad. The plot I felt like was so unique. I mean, she has her 30th dinner with 5 people, you know, like 5 people, dead or alive, who do you want to have dinner with? So they all come together and she's trying to figure out why they're all there, but it is sad. And for all of the magical realism sprinkles that she puts into her novels, this one I just didn't really vibe with the most. I'm curious how other people felt about this one because One Italian Summer is like a 6-star read, but The Dinner List, 3 stars. The memoir for July was Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham. Oh, I had so much fun with this one. If you loved Gilmore Girls or the show Parenthood, you will absolutely love this. It reads really quickly, and it's a great memoir. I'm reading a memoir every single month of the year, so I'm starting to really like see the differences in writing and ghostwriters and timeline like choices, and this is a really strong one. So if you're looking for a good memoir, highly recommend that. It also is like short enough where you can read it really quickly and won't be that intimidating. It's not like a super long memoir. Yeah, I don't rate memoirs, but it was such a great read. I read The Haunting of Bryn Wilder in July. I just have to point out, because I love it so much, that I have a signed copy by Wendy Webb. She's actually a local author here in Minnesota, and this book takes place in Minnesota. So if you're looking for more Minnesota-based books to read and you like thrillers, this is a thriller mystery that takes place off of Lake Superior, and it was so fun. I loved the plot. I know a lot of people don't like, I don't know, I was reading a lot of Goodreads reviews and some people did not like where she took this, but it gave me hope. Like, I really hope that's how it is. Some of it might not make sense, you know, realistically. Maybe it doesn't make sense how it happens, but like, it was fun. It was fun. It was a fun summer mystery thriller. The arc for July that I read was Cash by Jessica Peterson. I'm curious how the rest of the series will be because I'm such a diehard Elsie Silver fan that I think it's hard for me to read other country romances because they just don't hit the same. It was strong, I'll say that. City girl, country boy, guess what happens? It was good. I'm gonna keep reading it to see how the next ones in the series are because very rarely are the first books in a series my favorite. There's potential for sure in the Lucky River Ranch series. I was here for it and I'm gonna read the next one. I think I gave that one 4 stars if I remember correctly. It might be a 3.75 honestly though. This is when I discovered one of my new favorite auto 5-star read authors, Abby Jimenez. Also, someone on TikTok a long time ago, a girl that I know in real life who doesn't really like me, corrected me because I said Abby Jimenez and then she's white. She's not even Hispanic, but she commented on it with the pronunciation Abby Jimenez and she did J-E-E, like she did it and I'm like, Is that actually how you say it? Because nobody else in the book world says Jimenez, they all say Jimenez. And when she says her name, I'm pretty sure she says, "Hi, I'm Abby Jimenez." I just got this bully from like 10 years ago who hates my guts correcting me, and I think she's wrong. But because I'm scared of her, I say it the way that she told me to say it. Part of your world. This was a 5-star read. All of her books take place in Minnesota, and I love it so much. She writes rom-coms so well, and she fills it with like real stuff, real life shit, real mental health crap, real experiences. Like, it feels so real, and that really does make the biggest difference. Also, all of my Abby books are signed because it's so easy to get them in Minnesota. Very similar actually to Cash. You've got Country Boy, City Girl. She's from Minneapolis and he lives in a small town. It's so fun being so familiar with all of these places too. And I also found I related a lot of the story to my own love story with me and my partner. He's from a small town in Iowa. I'm from Minneapolis. He's covered in tattoos in this book. So is my man. My partner's a Capricorn and he has a pet goat. So it was cool. It was cute. I felt like our love story was kind of sprinkled in here, especially just being local. Oh my god, I loved it so, so much. This was a 5-star read. It's such a strong rom-com. If you're looking for a rom-com that, sure, maybe some of you might think it's a little cringy or corny, but isn't terrible, read Abby Jimenez. Oh my god, they're all so good. The next book that I picked up was Riley Sager's The Only One Left. This is officially my favorite Riley Sager book. I have read, I think, 5 or 6 of his thrillers so far. This is his work at its finest. Strongest book, strongest plot. It used to be Home Before Dark, just because that one felt so much like The Haunting of Hill House. But this one, oh, it was so good. I really thought I had the twist, and then there's so much to it, like the twist after twist after twist. It's so good. I get why this is so hyped. It is not overhyped. It is appropriately hyped. I ate this up in like a day, couldn't put it down. I wish I could experience reading this again for the first time because it was just so satisfying when you find out what actually happens in this plot. And I love going into thrillers not knowing anything, so I don't want to say too much about this plot. Just if you haven't read this yet, please read it. I also tried Carly Fortune for the first time this summer. I read Every Summer After, and for a mood reading, this hit. I read this at a cabin. We had a dock, we had a lake. I read it outside. It was the perfect experience, very similar to Love and Other Words, but I'd actually say more similar to The Summer I Turned Pretty. This girl lives next door to 2 boys, brothers, and it takes place every single summer because it was her summer cottage. It is the cutest little summer romance. I think I still prefer Love and Other Words, and there is a trope in here that I absolutely hate in books, but for what it was and for where I was while reading it, it was perfect. It was everything I wanted. It was so cute. It was summery. It had all the vibes. So I decided to pick up Mimi at the Lake Next by Carly Fortune, and I DNF'd this 62 pages in. I asked a friend who read it, like, does it get better? And she said no. Maybe it was just the wrong book, wrong time. I might try it again next summer. Never say never, but it just wasn't hitting for me. So very, very rare DNF of me because I don't typically DNF books, but I just knew I couldn't read that one. Those were the 13 books that I read in July though. Moving right into the 6 books that I read in August, I went back to Abby Jimenez and I read the 2nd book in the standalone trilogy, Yours Truly. This one focuses on the best friend of the first book. I love the way that Brianna in this book loves Jacob. Like, she just understands his needs in a way. He has social anxiety. He's a very introverted, anxious guy. I relate to that a lot, and she just knows how to love him, and she knows what to say and what to do to make him feel better in these situations, and it's just so like reassuring to see somebody be loved right. Something that I think Abby does really well in these books is showing a character and showing the reader like you are not hard to love, you're just being loved by the wrong person that doesn't know how to love you for you, and when you find that person that knows how to love you for, I could cry. Why am I gonna cry right now talking about her books? Oh my god. And I just love that they all take place in Minnesota because she'll make all these references and I'll be like, slay. Like, I love that too. Like, they talked about Punch Pizza and I eat there at least once a week, probably 3 to 4 times a week actually. There's so many other like local references, it's crazy. Yeah, I relate to Jacob a lot in terms of social anxiety and just anxiety in general and like what I would need in a friend or a partner, and then Brianna just like does that, and I feel so seen through the characters in this book. So brilliant, 5 stars. Oh my god, I love her work so much. I went back to the Rose Hill series this summer. I had read Wild Love last year, but they just feel like a summer read to me. So I wanted to wait until summer because doesn't this look like a beach read? Like the bright orange, like this is summer. Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver, a 5-star read. There is something about the second book in her series that I absolutely devour. I loved A Photo Finish, I loved Heartless, and I loved Wild Eyes. Oh my god. Violet and Cole, Willa and Kate, Skylar and West. What the actual heck? Because this was crack. This was so good. I loved it so much. I love how bratty her banter is. I love her like comebacks and how sassy she is, but I love their love, and I loved it so much. I cannot talk enough about it. You either get it and you're in it or you're not, and that's fine too. I've never seen somebody just feel mid about Elsie Silver. I feel like you either don't like her or you're obsessed. I dove right into Wild Side after because I had to be caught up for Wild Card, which comes out September 9th, and I am so excited for it. This is the 3rd book. Suddenly I love wrestling. 5 stars. This one focuses on wrestling. That's like his career in this, but it's so good. I think I read this in 2 days. 5 stars. Okay, going back to Abby Jimenez, Just for the Summer, another 5-star banger of a read. I love this book so much. I think it was the saddest book out of the 3 that I read by her. Like, why was I crying so much in it? Why did she have to make it so freaking sad? And I actually kind of believed the 3rd act breakup. Like, she really had me. I was like, no, that makes sense. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. She captured Minnesota in the summer so well. I will say, having your first kiss with somebody in your late 20s at the Great Wolf Lodge was a choice, and I hope I never have to experience that. I hope nobody else has. When they had their first kiss there, I was like, Abby, what are you doing? But it was really cute. I loved it. I loved it. 5 stars. The arc that I read for August was Secrets of the Blue Hand Girls. I had such high hopes for this read. This one comes out October 7th, so I'm curious kind of what people will think of this when it comes out. It felt like it was going to be like a YA Pretty Little Liars, Gossip Girl type of plot. These girls in school start to receive anonymous letters telling them to do things, and they're asking for secrets, and there was this girl that unfortunately passed away a year ago, and they're trying to figure out what happened to her. So I was there for it, but like the way that this plot unraveled and where it went with it, it didn't hit right. I also don't like the perspective that they had on private schools being kind of like the bad guy. Our main protagonist is a scholarship kid, and that was like a weird term too that like I've never really, like, I went to a private school on a full scholarship. Maybe it was obvious to people, but I never talked about it. Nobody ever, like, it wasn't like a differentiation. If anything, it was something I was proud of, and I loved my experience. I loved my academic upbringing. Like, I loved where I went to school, so it was weird to see that be angled so badly here. And just the mystery and like what the actual plot was like so bad. I didn't like this. I gave it 2 stars. The memoir for August that I read was Hannah Brown's God Bless This Mess. This read like a sermon and it read like a journal. I'm sorry, it was not a good memoir. One of my favorite reviews on Goodreads was I came for the bachelor tea and I got Jesus. I know it's in the title. I'm just not the demographic. I know. I wanted to read about her bachelor experience. So if you want to like hear about her bachelor time, it's at the end. Did I get my questions answered? Absolutely. Did I finally learn what happened during the quarantine crew with her, Matt James, and Tyler? Yeah. Did I hear about Peter? Yeah. Did I also have to hear about God a lot? Yeah. And that wasn't really for me. I tried to just look past it. It's her memoir. It was definitely what she felt like was her message she needed to put out. It's easier if you are a Christian to read this. And if you're not, just skim. Skim till you get to the bachelor part. It's kind of worth it. I don't rate memoirs, but those are my honest thoughts on this. I finished this last night. And with that, those are the 19 books that I read in July and August, and so many 5-star reads. I think my absolute favorite had to be ding ding ding, Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I want to read her new one so badly, but I'm gonna go back and read the, is it called the Happily Ever After playlist? I have to read that one, Life's Too Short, The Friend Zone, and then Great Big Beautiful Life. No, wait, oh my god, wrong author. And then Say You Remember Me. so that I can read the new one in March when it comes out. But she's an auto buy, auto read, auto 5-star read author for me now. That was the best thing I got out of the summer, I think. But what a summer of reading. I hate that summer's coming to a close, but I'm gonna do a fall reads TBR list next, I think. So be on the lookout for that. Let me know what were some of your favorite books that you read this summer so I can add them to my list. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on all the books that I just finished ranting about as well. The sun is going down, so I'm gonna go, but I'll see you soon with a new video.